things. There's a craze now. It seems to be a craze. Social media, they go nuts when people start doing the same thing. In this case, it's, sticking your body in a tub full of cold water or ice cold water. Cold water immersion. I want your thoughts on it. I've seen people saying, hey, it's a great way to lose body fat, which I think is total horseshit, but I'll let you guys pipe in on that.
Well, they started with the ice bucket challenge or whatever, right? That was the first thing. You just pour a bucket of, ice water over your head, and then you say, I challenge so-and-so, and then the next person would do it, and that went viral. But I think this, the whole idea of, cold and actually hot cold, because remember when we were invited out to Mark Verstegen's place, it was still called Athletes Performance,
yep.
Right? We went out there, we gave some seminars and stuff. ISSN was partnering up. Now it's Exos, right? I don't think Mark's there anymore. But were you guys there? Because we actually did a workout and we did the hot cold plunge, the combination therapy afterwards. And the whole idea was to reduce muscle soreness. That was the idea. So it wasn't just cold. It was cold at some temperature for a certain number of minutes. It was hot, and then it was cold again. I think it was maybe 2 or 3 rounds of that. So I think the data are fairly clear now. I mean, coming out of Luke Van Loon's lab and so on, and others that show that if you do this post-exercise, especially post-resistance exercise, you're probably going to impair muscle building. You're probably going to impair gains in lean mass. So it's not a good idea. If you're on the other hand using it just so you're less sore, let's just say, hey, I want to just use it for this series of meets that I have for this week or for this period of days, you're probably going to be less sore. It might help with reducing muscle soreness, but as a long-term strategy, it's probably not a good idea. And as far as the body fat thing goes, I only glanced at that paper. I can't believe a 1% decrease in body fat or whatever it was is even measurable. So I think there's a lot of hype over nothing there.
It actually wasn't even, they measured percent fat and body and fat mass, and it didn't change. What they were banking on was the 1.1 centimeter drop in waist circumference.
Oh gosh.
Wow.
Just hold your breath more.
That sounds like yeah.
Yeah, exhale less when they have the tape measure around. It's ridiculous. So.
Yeah, we actually did a study several years ago looking at ice bath post muscle damaging protocol and look at the recovery rates. We found that ice bath actually delayed recovery.
Recovery as in strength? You're talking about performance recovery?
Strength, recovery. Even a delay and a CK drop and inflammatory markers and stuff. It's interesting. We also looked at E-stim in the same study. And we also threw in HMB. Because we wanted nutrition, wanted stimulation, sort of like a massage thing. And then we also wanted cold water. We thought actually cold water was going to work. And we were surprised by the delay. Not one of the 3 actually was sufficient by itself because we damaged them pretty good.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. So do you think you smashed them up so good that nothing was going to work? Because if there was a delay. One thing did work because we also had them combined. So we had other groups where they're combining, and the group that was on the E-stim plus HMB, and this is the full 3 grams before 30 minutes before, they were the only ones that recovered a little bit faster. It was still statistically significant than the other groups. Yeah. So your muscle damage markers took longer to recover. Does that mean soreness was less? If those
soreness, everything was delayed with the cold water bath.
Is that a bad thing then if you're not as sore?
No. They were delayed. So they were sore for a longer period of time. Their muscle performance was stretched out longer. Whereas the people that did the E-stim HMB actually accelerated or saw some of the attenuation of some of the inflammatory markers and stuff like that. It wasn't perfect, but it didn't seem like individually anything was good. But what did you do?
What was your protocol to get them sore?
Squats. We had squats. We had hack squats. We did deadlifts. We did leg extensions. I mean, it was brutal. And then they came back. We did it again the next day. And then we did it again the 3rd day.
Oh God.
To mimic. And
why'd you do it? Everybody trains like that, right? Why would you do that? Like,
well, we were trying to promote like an overreaching scenario and to see if the cold the ice bath would actually delay, but.
All right, gentlemen, one last question. Tim, recommendations, your top 5 supplements in general, whether it's for health or performance, whatever, and then we'll go to Jeff, and then we'll wrap it up.
Sure. Boy, let's see. So creatine, definitely number 1. I'd say some kind of omega-3 supplement, number 2, because that spans so many different organ systems, right? It's not just
5 o'clock.
Yeah, it's muscle, it's brain, it's heart, of course. Protein, I think if unless you have a perfect diet, which few people do, I mean, even I don't. What else? I mean, now that I'm getting older, my joint health is important to me. So I'll do some kind of curcumin or whole body sort of systemic anti-inflammatory. And I think curcumin's one of the best out there. Although which brand is the best is anybody's freaking guess. And then I like CoQ10 too. I like ubiquinol is my go-to for CoQ10. Again, there's some data on some anti-aging stuff, but also on muscle performance. A lot less on the muscle performance part, but there are a couple of studies out there.
Yeah, I take glucosamine for joints. You do the curcumin. Do you take aspirin? Do you take aspirin?
I take baby aspirin every day. Baby aspirin every day. I have cardiovascular disease in my family, so grandfathers and uncles and that sort of thing. So a baby aspirin is a no-brainer for me.
Jeff.
Actually, I'm going to be easy. Exactly the same, except for not CoQ10 as well. The only other supplement I take is I think it's by Bosch and Lomb for eye health.
Lutein and zeaxanthin.
There it is. I have that. I just don't do it every day.
I do it every day.
I'm the only one wearing glasses. Joey and I are the only
I do it every day because that's what the research. I looked up the research that they had on it, and I was like, because I started getting, how you guys get the floaties?
Yeah.
And I never knew and realized that until my optometrist says, well, you're getting at that age, you seeing floaties? And I'm like, I do now, thanks. But and there's like glaucoma and stuff like that in my family. So I just started taking it about 6 months ago.
Yeah, I take it too. But I'm not sure it helps. I mean, but hell, what the hell?
Yeah.
I'll take it, see what happens. Tony, do you have any final thoughts before I let gentlemen go?
No, just some fantastic information. I'm glad to hear about the ice baths because I don't want to be in the cold water, and I need a couple of glasses of bourbon to get in it. So now I know I can avoid it entirely.
I don't know if my ticker can take it.
Yeah.
If anything, guys, I mean, we should be looking at some data on infrared saunas and all the other stuff. Right?
Okay.
I mean, I would love, and I don't know the data. I need to look, but I think there's a potential application there for overall health. If we're talking overall health, I think that's probably a good place to start.
Yeah, it's for me. I mean, that's part of the reason Tony moved to Florida from New York. It's to get away from cold. And, there's no reason I'm going to voluntarily put myself in a big tub of ice. So, but if we're talking about heat, I'll do heat. I will do heat. And Tony will do heat. But yeah, Tim, you like want to live in the Yukon territory or something. So
Northeast Ohio, Northeast Ohio isn't kind in the winter, especially where I live. It's in the snow belt. It's rough. Like, for example, today it was snowing sideways for a while, and then it was
snowed today.
Yeah, and then it was raining sideways. But last week it was 80. It's just all over. Honest to God, you can have all 4 seasons in a week here. It's incredible.
It's crazy. Well, gentlemen, I appreciate your time. Dr. Stout, Dr. Ziegenfuss, Tony, it's been a great show. I'll be posting this very soon. Thanks, guys.
Nice
Yeah.
Awesome.